What's good? What's good? Major League Motorsports friends, family, new Gran Turismo users, people who just say, "Hey, I picked up a wheel, want to get down. I'm ready to send it. I'm ready to go sideways. I'm ready to stance dance it." This video is for people like you, people who just picked up the game, want to get into it. This is more of a beginner's tutorial, those who are trying to get into it. Depending upon how well this one goes, that's going to determine whether or not I'm going to go a little bit more further in depth, just based on my feedback from you all. If you guys want to see more, just like this get it put out there to people, share it with people so the information can get out there. So, just a little background by myself so you guys can know my credibility. Been drifting on Gran Turismo since Gran Turismo 5. Gran Turismo 4 had a drift scene from what I found out. I'm not sure how legit that was, but there is some background from what I've heard from that. Um, I've been doing it for about 14 years now, 14, 13 years, just based on the time of Gran Turismo's release. I had a wheel a lot less advanced than this, obviously. So I will mention that as a safe hold and safekeeping as well. So I do want to let you know that too. Um, so I've learned from a lot of guys over the years, and plus, the information that I am going to share with you is information that I have researched on my own. Not only research that I've done on my own, but research that I've applied to make that work for myself, to say the least. Um, I do want to say that we definitely will be going in depth for beginners, so you guys are kind of understanding and grasp the concept. So we're going to be going over initiation, um, also dynamic drifting, brake drifting, also what are you going to start out with? What's the perfect car to start out with? What I need to drive. Obviously, you can see in my background what I do have that is very ideal for you to use as far as what you want to look for in a used car dealership. Obviously, there's more options. I will probably maybe overreel some other selections in the video so you guys are able to see, including years, makes, models, and years and things of that nature. So I do want to get you guys included into that. So just bear with me on all of that. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, um, just bought a 180SX. By the way, tip number one, you want to play the game. You definitely want to be able to play the game so you're able to, of course, have money, buy cars. But second reason why you want to play the game, I want to get into it now. So you want to have all of the tracks unlocked so you're able to practice. Good thing is one of the main practice tracks that a lot of people use, like Suzuka Circuit. That's what a lot of people use and practice on. So um, there's a skid pad there too. I'll make a video regarding best drift tracks for beginners techniques. And another main important reason why you want to play the game too is this here, the tuning shop. See all of these things I have available for this 180SX. Most people, you want to get to whereas you're able to get these things. This is where you'll be able to drift when you can buy these components here. When you're able to buy the handbrake and the adapter. So we're gonna buy these things as such so we can have added steering angle. I'm not sure what's up with the physics on how it calculates traction as according to speed, because when you add weight to the car, yeah, it'll add traction during drift, but it shouldn't add speed. the lighter car should be a faster car because the lighter car is just a faster car. Should it be unstable? Yes. It will very well be unstable because you're taking weight out of it in certain areas. It's going to feel drastically different. So that's why I don't recommend doing a rate reduction on most cars. Some cars, some people said that you can do stage one. Most people I've heard said stage one. Some people I've heard said stage two, but I think that would be the limit. But I use Comfort Hard. Most of the community for the longest time have been using Comfort Hards. Some people have been branching into Comfort Mediums and Comfort Soft. But for my preference and for what most of the community preference is, Comfort Hards is the way to go. A lot of people say it feels like it's on ice, but I'm gonna make it easier for people so people can't have that feeling when they're going into it. So you want to go ahead and buy all of the upgrades. So I'm gonna skip through this part of the video so you guys don't see all the upgrades, but because I will have an upgrade chart for you guys to see at the end. All right, so I'm gonna go back because it's another important thing too. A lot of people ask, should you buy the car? Preference based only. Um, the wider the car, the the more more stability it has going through wind and going faster. So I think a wider car would be that much more stable. But I mean, some cars that some people drift, you can't do a wide body on. So I really can't say that's necessarily the truth. So most cars that I do drift have the wide body on it. I'm not gonna go into too much depth like, oh man, the wide body is this gonna make this much of a difference, but just for purposes for people who are able to understand. Wheels, wheel size and body kits do matter. So, because it's gonna help regarding downforce, but I'm gonna put some wheels on it. But the wheels definitely do um make a difference. Actually, there's videos online that you can reference where people have reference where the larger wheels do have um do have more wheel speed. You have higher. You can some people have higher lap times and you have higher wheel speeds with more with bigger wheels, which is true. I can attest to that. I've tested it out, but it's not as stable. So you want a threshold. There's a stability threshold. It's not as fun. I'll tell you that right now. So I love that wing. That wing is just so amazing. So for people who are just starting out and learning the concept of drifting, just get out there and get in seat time. I want to make a lobby. All right, so now you're within a lobby, and you're like, hey, let's join. Excuse me, coming off of a bad cold, but now that you're in the lobby, you're like, hey, I got my car. I got it built to where I want to build it. Let's set it up. So first, before you jump on track and want to get into drifting, you want to make sure you have these settings as far as assist. Just to go over them. ABS. That's more of a preference thing. You don't go wrong either way. If you're a person who likes to drive at high angle, for my more advanced people, I would say it's better to have it off because your front wheels will slip more, but your engine will kill if you don't have enough throttle rotating the rear tires. So it will increase your chances of stalling versus this guy who uses the weak but still can rotate the front end around the same, but maybe not as much as the person with it off. But you don't go wrong either way. It's more of a preference thing, but I would say it's better to learn with it off for my beginners. Driving line, we don't really care about that. In drifting, we follow lines that the tandem or lines that the room follows. So we do that. Um, you want to make sure active stability management off. You want to make sure counter steering assist is off. You want to make sure traction control is on 0. Let's see here. You know, I mean, these don't really matter. They kind of help me when I'm in VR, so I can figure out where the track is. So, the next thing you want to do is you want to go to your controller settings for my wheel people. I'm using a T300 with a modified wheel rim. Also with a if you guys see over there with shifter and e-brake. E-brake makes things easier as far as following people slowly and initiating sometimes, but you can get away without needing it. There's ways of getting around it, but you want to come over to here. See, I run the max torque with the max feedback because with this rim being a lot larger, I'm able to be a lot more precise and quicker, so I can get the force feedback sensitivity to throw the wheel around a little bit more harder for me. So, but for people on G29, um, G923, the Maloan wheels, most of the guys who I've talked with, especially my guy Humble, Initial Kid is his name. And everyone who I talk to and people I give the suggestion to, always run your torque as maximum as you can. You want to make sure you run it as high on those wheels because you want in drifting the wheel to rotate over. And for those who are not on the wheel, there's a threshold when you start to feel like you're struggling to keep the wheel from able to turn, then that's where you want to have your force feedback kind of dwindle down. Because some people like me, I can lower it down because it rotates over itself like consistently on its own, but more or less I like a lot of power and steering feel, so I would rather have the torque all the way up for myself. Same goes for the sensitivity. For the sensitivity, I turned it up when I got this wheel rim, which I'll be doing a review on this video on this rim soon. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that as I release that as well. Just for my T300 people, see just to let you guys know this is a very very valuable asset here. But you definitely want to play with the force feedback sensitivity just based upon the lightness of your wheel, because that's the information that the road is being fed from the motor. Information from the road is going to be soaked into the steering. So you definitely want that to be as high as you possibly can handle it. But another main thing for my wheel people, this doesn't go for controller people. Um, you want to go into your vibration function and your vibration strength. I'm turning mine's back up because I was messing with it for a little bit to kind of find different thresholds for different applications. I found that 40 is the best for me and my friends who've tested this out, but this will definitely affect and impact how your wheel will perform as far as your force feedback counter steer. The numbness of it. When you're at full lock, it makes the numbness so dreadful. So you definitely want to lower the vibration strength on that. So and all this other stuff you don't really have to worry about unless you have like a VR like how I do. But yeah, so and then lastly you want to go into your car settings, make sure everything's set up right. So this is how I tend to set up a vehicle. I'm not gonna go in depth on tuning. I'm just gonna go ahead and just put a tune on it. Um, I will go in depth on tuning for another video. I'm just trying to get this out so people can just learn how to drift. So, but main thing you want to make sure you have, you want to make sure that it lists those components there. You want to make sure you have all of those installed, like sports, clutch, all the engine stuff. All right, just so you guys can see it, do have a fully customizable div, but like I said, no body or weight reductions or anything like that. I forgot to buy the brake balance, but typically for the brake balance, you want it to be it's on the negative side, because on Gran Turismo, it does compensate for that in that regard. Um, Anti-lag, that's more of a preference thing too. I like to run high turbo for the most torque, because when I'm off throttle, the anti-lag's going to kick in and spin the wheels for me on the low end. So, but you want to get the fully customizable manual if you want to use the correct stuff. So